And what is up, everybody? All right, it's been a while. I don't get to put these up as much as I would like to. I tend to forget, especially with other things that I'm trying to do right now. But I want to talk today. I'm probably late as far as this is concerned, or anything like that. It's just that I'm no longer a fan of Star Wars. I haven't been a fan of Star Wars since the prequel trilogy. Didn't even bother with the Clone Wars either animated series, whether the 2D animated shorts or the 3D series. No Star Wars Rebels, nothing. I'm just I was all Star Wars out by then. Then I made the mistake of giving the new trilogy a chance. Like how is it that this girl, never, 45 minutes into the movie didn't even think that the Force existed, thought it was a myth, but with no formal training whatsoever, not even a proper introduction to the Force. She can do Force reach. She can do the Jedi mind trick, and suddenly she could best a Jedi in combat on top of everything else that's wrong with this story. So none of that. However, one thing that's been getting a lot of buzz lately, and I've seen a couple episodes, it's not bad, of course, is The Mandalorian. Here's the problem. If not for the big Star Wars label slapped on it, Mandalorian would not be the hit that it is. Seriously. I mean, the story it's good, but it's also kind of weak. It's like the best way I could best describe the strength of the plot of this story. I would liken it to those old syndicated action dramas that would play on Saturday afternoons, during the 90s. That's what I would liken those type of shows to. Saturday and Sunday afternoons, after all the cartoons were over, you'd watch it on. It's like you watch them on either Fox Network or UPN, stuff like that, or WB, depending on what time frame it was, because that was how you got Renegade, that's how you got Highlander, even Cobra, or Thunder in Paradise, Baywatch, nonsense like that. I mean, not only is just the Star Wars label slapped on it, but it's not an original story either. It's the introduction of Baby Yoda. Okay, cute, whatever. Everybody loves Baby Yoda. I wouldn't mind a Baby Yoda myself. But it's no longer Star Wars. Now it's Lone Wolf and Cub. It's Lone Wolf and Cub. It's bad enough that basically the original Star Wars movie was a complete remake, Americanized science fiction remake of Akira Toriyama's The Hidden Fortress. But now this is another Japanese movie franchise, Lone Wolf and Cub, that you're basically copying off of. And the third episode was a blatant ripoff of Seven Samurai. Except there was two people. It was two mercenaries instead of seven samurai. that's basically what the third episode was. The only thing original to come from this series so far that I know of came from everybody that I've spoken to about this. The 8th episode was by far the dumbest, absolute worst episode, and the best thing that to me, the only original thing to come out of it was when Bill Burr's character is introduced to the Mandalorian, saying that he was a sharpshooter for the Empire. The Mandalorian says that's not saying much, and Bill Burr's character says, "I wasn't a stormtrooper, smartass." That's basically hinting towards the lore of the fact that the worst aim in any film franchise or anything is stormtroopers. Stormtroopers can't shoot. So to say he was a sharpshooter for the for him to know that I wasn't a stormtrooper, that's funny. I give them credit for thinking of that. Too bad the rest of the episode was straight trash. The story itself, like I said, not special effects. Okay, Mandalorian I guess is a cool character. Clearly better than Boba Fett. Much tougher than Boba Fett. Obviously, it's I don't care whatever the whole Star Wars expanded universe was, or even with the Marvel comics or anything like that, because you can't go by any of that. Because how many things, how many comics, how many novels, how many games were made canon only for LucasArts to deem certain stories not canon, and then Disney just destroy everything that we've been going through the trouble of educating ourselves for this universe for the past 30 plus years. So to hell with all of that. And even it's this. It's bad enough that they do that. They did it with G.I. Joe. They did it with Gargoyles. Did it with Sheesh. And there's just so many different franchises that they've done it to. Even I'm not 100% sure when Highlander the animated series came out, because you had the first Highlander movie, then the second movie came out, and it was just so horrible. They had that was the first Highlander 3 was the first ever reboot where there's okay, this didn't happen. Just forget this ever. Forget you ever saw this. This garbage didn't happen. And they did Highlander the series, but then they also had Highlander the animated series, which I liked it as a kid. I understand why people didn't like it, but whatever, And the source, even the Highlander anime, the Quest for Vengeance or whatever it was called, done by the same artist as Ninja Scroll and Demon City Shinjuku. Those were that was all supposed to be within that universe, and here comes the source. Here comes Highlander the source. That was so awful. That should have been rebooted, but nope. Adrian Paul's just hanging it up. It was okay, fine, whatever. This is why I say that certain things, just let it die. Everybody's mad about Star Wars. Okay, fine, just let it die. It's done. Just kill it, let it die. Highlander is dead. There's so many different franchises are dead. Leave them alone. Don't bother trying to bring them back, try to fix anything. No. Screw it. Let it die. And this series, it's not bad. It's not bad. It is entertaining. But the only reason it's as successful as it is because of the Star Wars label. That's it. I've got no problem saying that. I will, defend my opinion to the death. And a lot of people do agree with me. Yes, it's a good show. It's not great. And if it was standing on its own, didn't have the Star Wars label, whether it was set in the same time period or not, like that god awful movie with that ugly ass Kate Bosworth, Way of the Warrior. She had no. Movie was just stupid. Movie was stupid, and that's basically what this show is. This show, if it took place in the West, if it took place, in modern times, if it took place in the future, and it didn't have the Star Wars universe to back it up, and all the folklore and the technology, and like, oh, there's stormtroopers, oh, there's a Mandalorian armor, oh, X-wings, oh, this, that, the other. If it didn't have any of that, guaranteed it would not have the success that it has now. It wouldn't, nobody would be, nobody would be going crazy over Baby Yoda, because it wouldn't be a Baby Yoda. It would be just a baby, and nobody would care, because it's not Star Wars. So if this was strong, if it not for the fact that they're basically using the fact that it's Star Wars to really hold it, it's gonna get real old real quick, unfortunately. And hopefully they don't plan on doing too much. They don't plan on doing too much with it. It's like, okay, tell a good story, and then finish rather quickly. Don't try saying like, oh yeah, we're gonna try to get like 5-6 seasons out of this, and you don't have that much to begin with. I mean, seriously, what else is there? Just leave it alone for the most part. Let's this, okay, fine, finish this up. Please finish it quickly. And just let it rest in peace. I'm done talking. You guys have a good night.